Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I am here to tell you what is the perfect itinerary, in our opinion, of course, to get to know the best of Italy in 10 or 15 days of travel. That's a very good period of time for you to visit this fantastic country, which is one of our favorites in the world. So we'll give you some very quick tips, a very nice summary showing on the map which cities we recommend you to stay and how many days to stay in each one for a 10 or 15 day itinerary. But you can also adapt it to yours. It doesn't have to be 10 or 15, it can be the amount of days you want, but we are going to give you an overview so that you can set up properly and to help you plan your trip. So check out the video, guys. Don't forget to give us the like, subscribe to the channel because that helps us a lot, and buckle up. Well, Italy is one of the most difficult destinations to plan. We suffered a lot the first time we went there because you want to know a lot of things. I think it's one of the only places in the whole of Europe. It's the only country that we recommend you to spend a whole trip just for it, because there are a lot of nice things. If you stay 20 days in Italy, you can make a very nice 20-day itinerary. So there are a lot of things to see and a lot of nice cities. So a lot of people getting out, they research about which are the coolest cities and which is the perfect itinerary for each one. There is not much of a perfect itinerary, okay guys? It depends on tastes. We always hear some tips, but we end up making our trips. We hear other tips and other opinions, so we'll give you an overview to help you in an itinerary for 10 days and 15 days to know the main things, right? The most touristic places, the most famous, etc. Well, the first thing everybody thinks is, how am I going to make this trip? The means of transportation. There are several options. The two main ones are the train, which works very well. We're not very used to it in our country, but the train, the whole Europe is general, especially in Italy, it works very well. They are high-speed trains, they are super comfortable, super safe, and you can get around super well with them. But then there is the dream trip of many tourists from all over the world, which is to drive through Italy and especially through Tuscany. We did it by car and we found it sensational. It's worth it. The landscapes are beautiful. The car rental there in Italy is one of the cheapest in the world. It's very nice to drive there. We will show you more or less the distance between the cities and you can define what's better for you. If you're going to rent a car, be sure to use a price comparison tool that we know. It's amazing. I'll leave the link here in the description of the video. You enter, you put the date of your trip, and it compares the car and city you want to visit. Then it shows you the best prices guaranteed. You will save a lot with, and you will end up paying much cheaper. Gas is also cheap. There are a few tolls. It's a very nice trip to do. We totally recommend you to do this round trip. Well, starting our itinerary in Rome, that's probably where you arrive. Most flights are either Milan or Rome. Whenever we went, we ended up arriving in Rome. The fare was better and it was the best option. So arriving in Rome, this is the main city in Italy. It's obvious and you have to stay more days because there's so much to do. We have a very nice video about what to do in Rome, which is complete. You will see that there's a lot to do. Check it out later. It's a lot to see, so our tip is at least 4 days in Rome. So in a 10-day itinerary, 4 days, and in a 15-day itinerary, 1 more day, 5 days, because 1 day you have to set aside for the Vatican, right? So in 4 days you will have 3 days to visit Rome and 1 day to visit the Vatican, because the Vatican is inside the city of Rome, so you already know these sides and you will spend a lot of time. So this is our recommendation. In Rome you don't need a car, okay? It's not even advisable. We don't think it's cool because the traffic is a little chaotic. There are no good places to park. It's very difficult. We made the reservation beforehand in our country with this comparator that I mentioned to you, and then we took the car in Rome on the last day and went straight to Florence, to Tuscany, and then we continued the trip. It was sensational. We think it worked out very well. So in Rome, if you stay in a good location, you can do everything on foot, so forget about transportation there. Starting in Rome, our recommendation is that you go up to see Tuscany. The main city of Tuscany is Florence, which is huge. It's a little bit higher than the one we're going to talk about, but there is Siena, which is a city that we really like to stay in. It's a big city compared to the style in Tuscany because the cities are very small, and it's a little bit before Florence, so it's a nice stopping point, so you don't have to drive so much, you don't have to travel so much, and it's very nice because it's a beautiful town, super quiet too. It's the Tuscany style, so you feel like you're in the Tuscany environment, and it's close to several other cities, so you can in one day enjoy it, to rest and enjoy the place, and on the other day you can go to the towns next door. There is Montalcino, which we liked a lot, and Montepulciano, which are very close and very similar. We visited both in sequence in the same afternoon, and a little bit above Siena there is also San Gimignano, which is one of the most famous. You will see that it's one of the most talked about. People liked it a lot. It has a very different style, a very medieval style. It's a very historic town. It's Tuscany, so it's another place. So that's why we think it's nice that you stop in Siena to see these little towns that are very beautiful and totally worthwhile for you to see. And then from Siena we go to Florence. This is a very nice city because it's a city, it's similar to Rome, the style, the size is a little bit smaller, but it's more or less like Rome, and it's in the heart of Tuscany. From there you can get to other important places. We think it's good that you stay at least 2 days in Florence, at least on a 10-day itinerary. On a 50-day itinerary you can stay 1 day longer. We recommend you stay 3. So what happens in Florence, you need a whole day to get to know the city, which is very nice. There is the Duomo church there, which is very beautiful. The main square, it's very nice. There are many restaurants. You will spend a whole day there, and then the next day you can go to Pisa and Lucca, which is 1 hour away by train. It's very easy. In 1 hour you quickly arrive there at the station. It's very simple, and also by car it's even easier. It's super fast. In 15 minutes you get there. Then go to Pisa in the morning. In 3 or 4 hours you will visit the Tower of Pisa, the Church of Pisa, which is very nice, and it's close to the tower. It's a very beautiful scenery. The two constructions together, they stay there in a garden that has some other attractions. It's a very nice square, but it won't take you so long to get to know everything. And then you can have lunch there because there are very nice restaurants, and then you can go to Lucca. Lucca is a town that we loved. It was the smallest town, I think, of all the towns we visited. It's a very small town because it's nice. It's all surrounded by a wall because it was one of those cities during the war to protect itself. We visited, you go inside the wall, there are some churches, some squares, but it's much smaller. It's nice for you to get to know this essence of Italy, and also of my ancestors. My great-grandfather, my great-grandfather, they were from there, so I thought it would be nice to know a little about the origin of our family. But it's a place that many people really comment on and many tourists stop to visit. Lucca is 20-30 minutes from Pisa. It's very fast by car, and you can also get there quickly by train, so the commute is very easy. You get to know both cities in 1 day, and then you can go back to Florence to continue your itinerary. You really don't need too much time on Pisa and Lucca. It's actually very simple. The tip is take the rest of the day and the evening to walk around Florence, which is sensational. Enjoy a restaurant near the square. It's very nice. You can see a little bit of the nightlife, which is not very busy, but it's very nice for you to walk around. So we think that Florence should be 2 days for those who are going to do the 10-day itinerary, and for those who are going to do the 15-day, we think it's a good idea to add 1 more day. So stay 3 days because 1 day is for Pisa and Lucca, right? So it will be practically 1 day in Florence and 2 days here in the table. So 3 days for the 15-day tour and 2 days for Florence to Pisa and Lucca for the 10-day tour. That's the tip. And guys, any doubt you may have, no matter how silly it may be, tell us about it and we'll gladly help you, right? If you want, and it's even easier, send us a direct message on social networks and follow us there too. We're always traveling around the world showing travel tips in a very cool way, and our family routine with our little one, which is a blast. So follow us there, send us our questions, and we'll answer you. We'll help you plan your trip with no problem at all. And then leaving Florence, our tip is go to Venice, which is the most different city we have ever seen in the world. You have to know it because it's really different. It's surrounded by rivers that are practically no streets. There are streets, the sidewalk that you walk on, but there are not many cars in this part of Venice. Venice is a gigantic city. It's super important in Italy, but this tourist part is very small. It's a very small part of Venice, but that it's what you have to focus on. That's the cool thing, and that is the differential thing. You will see the fountains, you will ride on boats that are the famous vaporettos, which are the transportation to get you to the hotel. So take a good look, be well located in Venice because you might have problems finding your hotel. So get a nice hotel in the tourist area. There is a video we made about this that's very good too, and then you can enjoy 2 days. We think it's very good in Venice, so we'll put both in the 10 days and the 15 days. Okay guys, we'll put 2 days in Venice because we think that more than that is not worth it. We can see everything, it's small. If you stay in a good location, you can see Piazza San Marco, which you can also see the Rail 2 bridge, which is important important tourist attraction. You get to know the main tours and sites in 2 days. The gondola ride, for God's sake, don't miss the gondola ride, which is the coolest. There is a website here that I'll leave below. It sells tickets for all the cities in Italy and in all of Europe, so go there and buy in advance because Rome and Florence are sold out, okay? In Venice, the tours also sell out. We saw a very long line for all of them. It's much better to buy in advance because you pay cheaper and avoid the lines at the time. So we'll leave it here in the description of the video. We'll leave all the links that we mentioned, the car comparator, the insurance comparator. Oh, travel insurance is mandatory to enter almost every country in Europe, including Italy, guys. Don't forget, if you have an international travel insurance that covers medical assistance of at least 30,000 euros, you can go. So be sure to get one. It's very cheap. Do not be scared by this value because it's a good insurance. Using a price comparator that's similar to the one for cars, I'll leave the link here as well. It compares all insurance companies and offers you incredible prices. You will pay 22, 23 euros for 10 or 13 days of travel in travel insurance that covers you for everything and allows you to enter Europe, so be sure to get yours. There's also the internet chip that we recommend for you to use the internet there during your whole trip. It's very good. We bought it in our country. It's a very good company. They delivered it in a few days to our house. When we got there, we put the chip in without any headache and started using it during your whole trip in Italy. So there are several cool tips. There's the location of the cities in Rome, the maps I made for you to be well located in Rome, to stay in Florence, to stay in Venice. I'll leave everything listed and organize it in this video description for you to plan. So save this video, click after you watch it because it will help you a lot when planning your trip and your itinerary. So Venice, it's 2 days, you don't need more than that. There are people who are sometimes dazzled by the scenery, by the photos and say, wow, I'm going to stay a lot in Venice, wow, I'm going to stay a lot there. We don't recommend it. Of course, if you feel like it, stay. Everyone has their own taste and travel style. We think that in 2 days we can do everything and the 10-day itinerary ends there. Many people comment about Milan. Milan is a beautiful city, yes, but we think that in 10 days we can do everything in Milan too. You will end up having to go through the others too fast. You will spend too much time getting around and not enough time enjoying the trip. Our suggestion is don't include Milan. If you really want to visit Milan, try to swap it with another city or add a few more days. In the 15-day itinerary, we have added 1 more day in Rome, 1 more day in Florence, and 3 days left there because 3 days we're recommending adding Milan because then you can enjoy calmly. It will be the last city of the trip, so you can organize all your things, your suitcase, buy a lot of things because in Milan, of all Italy, is the best place to shop. It has more stores, more malls, so you can buy the things you want to bring back to your country. There are days there for you to enjoy the end of the trip, to be more relaxed. There are not so many tourist spots for you to walk around, wearing yourself out like Rome. So it's a nice stop for you to stay for 3 days, so you can stay 3 days in Milan to complete the 15-day itinerary. And guys, this is just the opinion, okay? Don't do exactly that. The cool thing about traveling in Italy is this: you can live it with your own face. You feel like Tuscany more, the scenario, you want to drink wine, you want to stay in a cooler environment, spend more days in Florence, you want to see more historical attractions, put 1 or 2 more days in Rome because there's so much to see. If you want a more romantic and indifferent city, Venice, so adapt it to your travel style. Important thing, the train. There is a very nice site that is also a comparator, just like travel insurance and car rental. It has a train comparator. It's the biggest in Europe. I'll leave here along with the others. It compares all companies and all available train tickets. You just have to put the routes there and search. It's very cool. It offers the best routes for you to travel from one place to another with the best trains and the best possible price for you to save as much as possible. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. That really helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the other videos. There's the one about how to save a lot in Italy that, in my opinion, is the best because it teaches you how to plan your trip from beginning to the end with all the tips all the way to save a lot, all the price comparators, the best services, and finally it's a complete guide to plan your trip in a much cheaper way. So I'll leave it here along with the playlist that has all the other videos from Italy for you to watch and enjoy. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video and have nice trips. See you next video.